Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Welcome, 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 welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And here today again we are here with amazing guests to inspire you. He is specialty about he's talking about me. I saw his profile. It looked very interesting. He is about golfing, but hey, I don't golf, and still I got interested into his profile. Why? Because I found so many strategies and all the teachings what are mentioned in his portfolio are useful for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and people like you. You have been, yeah, loyally following our podcast and listening and implementing all the changes what guests are recommending you. So, without further delay, let me invite Scott. Scott, and your middle name is bad card. So how did you get this name? Generally, I ask people how they get started with the business and their story. Hey, but I have different question for you.
Perfect.
So how did you get this middle name? Why?
Oh no, that's on my name on this bubble down here. I was trying to put my name
Okay.
and then Bag Cards is the name of the company. I think I had some slashes in there, but I don't think they carried over. So now it just yeah, my middle name is not that cool. My middle name's Thomas. I this would be better. Maybe I should change it.
Okay. So tell me, how did you get started into your business? Tell me your journey.
Yeah, I grew up playing golf, not never very seriously, just for fun, and enjoyed being out on the golf course. And Um, didn't play much in my adult life. I would go maybe once a year with friends. Um, but you know what happens when you don't practice at something or play very often, it remains very challenging. So I would be playing with people who were a lot better than I was, and so to make the round interesting, we just sort of make up weird rules while we're out there, to sort of level the playing field. And then I had the idea of like, oh, what if this was like we just kept coming up with ideas after we were done with our round. And I'm like, what if this was all in like a card game or a card box and you just draw it and then you'd have something weird and special to do on each hole? And I had the idea for, I mean, probably about 4 or 5 years. And then when COVID happened and I had a good bit of free time on my hands and sort of like a bit of a creative lull. And yeah, I was just like, all right, let's do it. Let's try it. I didn't know anything about e-commerce. My background was in marketing, so I had that component I felt comfortable with, but everything else I just sort of figured out as I went. And I thought it was a fun idea and a fun concept, and I was like, all right, let's put this thing out. Let's see if the internet agrees and if people like it. And yeah, it was well received right off the bat, and so it sort of launched me into this, I guess, going on like 4 year now journey with this company, and we get to make fun things happen on the golf course, and we've met a ton of people and been at a ton of events, and it's just been it's been a fun experience. So, but yeah.
Great. I relate to your story because even I have, yeah, experience in marketing and business, and during COVID times I got started to digital business, and
Mhm.
now I'm into e-commerce, so I can relate to you so well. Another thing I can really relate to you is from zero to sold out,
Hmm.
because that was my journey, but I want to hear from you because I know, uh, I will learn a lot of new things from you, and so does our audience.
Yeah, yeah, that was a really fun moment. I mean, when just bootstrapped the project, so just got as you design did all the design myself, and we hired a designer for the logos, but the card designs and all of that I did myself and kind of figured out as I was going with my limited knowledge I had in Photoshop and Illustrator. um, and you know finding a manufacturer and all of that, but we we did the first run after setting all of that up. The first run was 750 games because that's the lowest really that we could do. And I just remember thinking like this, when the UPS guy dropped it off at my apartment at the time, he was box after box after box after box. There's 50, I think there's 50 in each box, and each box was like 30 pounds. I lived on the second floor. I felt so bad, but I was like, yeah, a moment of truth. Like we're gonna release this, and either I'll be giving them out as gifts for the rest of my life, because they'll be sitting in my apartment, or they'll go over well. So starting out, we had a very small marketing budget, and so it was really focusing on trying to like sort of optimize social media ads and find the right converting campaigns before we really put any more money behind it, just because it was such a finite resource. And we put our explainer video that explained how to play the game. I put that on TikTok in, I think, 3 parts, because they were limiting videos at 60 seconds at the time. And yeah, we're down at the apartment pool one day, and for reference, we would get, on Shopify, you get a little ching or a little sound when somebody buys something, which is really fun. 4 years and I've never turned that ringer off. If somebody were to make a purchase right now, it would ring through. I'll never get tired of that sound. But yeah, maybe 3 to 5, maybe 10 sales a day max, right? And I was filling everything myself. And we were hanging out with some friends at the pool in our apartment, and my phone's over on a chair, and I keep hearing this like cha-ching. I was like, oh, cool. And then we're talking, it's like cha-ching.
That is what I wanted to say. That sound is like checking.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, weird. That was a couple in a row, and normally, you get one every couple of hours. That's kind of the rate we were doing when we were starting out. Cha-ching, cha-ching, and finally I go over and I'm looking. I'm like, what's going on? And so we get out of the pool, and I get upstairs and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, did something go? I'm trying to see if anything went viral. I'm checking our ads and stuff like that. And then I saw one of the videos on TikTok was at a couple 100,000 views, which was enough that I just got our store going, and people were sharing it because they were like, it was a new concept and they thought it was fun. And yeah, and so in a few days we sold out of everything, and then went on to a back order while we ordered more product. And so that we ordered in, I think 2,400 was our next shipment that we got, and we expedited filled the back orders, and then sold the rest out in another week, and then just kept rolling that in. So we're ordering 10 to 20,000 games at a time now. But yeah, I'll never forget, like I'll never forget in the apartment I lived in at the time, my wife and I were just like, we're just freaking out. We're yelling. We're like, it works. It worked. Like, it worked. People like it. Like, we got the answer to the question we've been wondering for months since we had, started producing the product. So it was a fun moment.
Yeah, that is really great. The way you started into business, that is really amazing. I work with lots of solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and they have this impression in their mind. They need to be perfect at everything they do. They need to know everything before they start into business.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, means, do you start your car when all the lights are green? It doesn't happen that way. So just start the business and you learn. And as far as you are genuine and authentic, your audience will understand. So, what is your opinion about that? Because I saw you started your business just with enthusiasm and some passion. And hey, you are amazingly successful. Tell me your trade secret.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Is just start. Like, you'll never know everything, and you'll never probably feel fully prepared if it's a new venture. If it's something out of your wheelhouse, and you're probably not going to feel ever as prepared as you want to. So just go ahead and start. I also have a social media marketing company, and when we started that company, we were an influencer marketing agency. We were kind of working between businesses and influencers, and we would find the opportunity to set up the campaigns and deliver metrics. So we were kind of in the middle of that. And then clients we work with would come to us and be like, hey, like, would you do this as well? Would you manage our account? Will you run our ads? Will you do all this? And we were starting that stuff. I was just, yeah, of course, and I'd be on calls with, VPs of companies, and I'll be talking, and I'm just taking notes, and I'm like, yep, yeah, let me look in and get back to you on that. And I'm scribbling down terms they're saying that I have not, and then I'm Googling everything, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And so same thing. I mean, I think that's the thing is like we just live in an era, or we live in an age where you can figure anything out. Like especially with, between YouTube and Reddit and I mean ChatGPT now, especially, you just have a coach. As long as you have a hunger to learn and you want to understand, like you can figure the answers out. And so yeah, I kind of did that. And when we launched Bad Cards as well, I mean, I had friends that were in the design space or in a printing space, and I'm like, hey, answer these questions. Um, but yeah, just get into it and learn as you go. And yeah, and that's the thing too, especially depending on your industry. I mean, in marketing, especially digital marketing, like that landscape's going to change daily almost. Like, so you're always going to be learning anyway, so you might as well just get into it and start figuring it out. So, but yeah, I always taken the approach of just say yes to start. Like, hey, can you do? And I say yeah, and that's like I'll figure it out, or I'll find somebody who can do it. Like yeah, it'll be a yes, but it's very much like a duck where your
No,
feet underneath are
that is a
going.
really great approach. Yeah, amazing. Because I remember there was, I think, couple of centuries back, or maybe like last century, uh, Ford, inventor of Ford motors, and he was into court because people said that he's illiterate, he doesn't know anything, and something like that. And there was a court case against him, and so they were asking questions to him, and he said, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." So he said, "You don't know any of these answers. So what you have been doing?" He said, "I have people working for me, and
Oh,
they can provide all those answers, so why should I waste my precious time in finding answers for this?" So
oh,
now we may not have those people working for us, but we have tools
mm-hmm,
which we can use in a smart way, and we can get answers. And you mentioned many of those tools, so that is so assuring because it is really refreshing. So if someone is doubting, hey, just get
just
started,
yeah, just
and
go
you
for it.
mentioned about TikTok. I remember there was a case study done. There were two videos, same videos. One was done by professional photographer, other one was done by a novice
Mhm,
persons just on iPhone. And the video which was done on iPhone got way more likes and comments than the one done professionally, because people could relate
mhm.
to the video done on iPhone, because they say, "Oh, okay, I can relate, I can do this."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
here you are not in the business to show how smart you are. It is basically how you can help your audience,
Yeah,
how you can add value to their lives. And when you are genuine and authentic, everything falls into place. And yeah, you don't have to worry,
yeah, and that
because as far as, yeah.
yeah, that authenticity component is huge, and especially when it comes to marketing and organic marketing. And we built Bad Cards with sort of a marketing first approach, which makes sense because that's where my expertise was. That's where all my confidence was. Hey, I know how I'm going to do this. I know how I want our voice to be. I know what I want the sense to be around our product and our company. And we wanted it to be very much a community. I mean, our vision was to have, most, if not all of the content that we're sharing is people using our product because it's a very visual game. It's on a golf course and it gets you laughing. Our goal is like to design something with each card that makes you want to pull out your phone so you don't miss a moment. And so, I mean, we took that into our marketing approach, and it's very much just showing off the product. It's a hard undersell for sure. Um, in our experience, there's way more attachment um, to a product or a brand or a purchase if there's a sense of discovery. And so what we like to say is we give our audience 2 plus 2. We show them people having fun on the golf course and they drew a card or something and they're looking at it. What is this? And then they go and Google it or they search our account or something. We make it very easy to find us, but then they've discovered the product on their own. And so there's way more attachment to that. There's way more loyalty to that. There's way more willingness to share it with somebody because it's a discovery they made. And so, what I say is we give people 2 and 2 and we'll let them make 4. And then when it comes to tracking back to our product, while we maybe not have a hard call to action every time, we leave a very, very messy trail of breadcrumbs. So we're very easy to find. And I mean, that's been huge. And also it's just way more fun to run a company that way where people are excited, and and when you have a new product, or when you post a funny video, or you're doing a giveaway, that people are excited to be involved. They feel a part of the brand, not just like you sold them a product. So but yeah, authenticity all the way through. Like you can't fake it. And yeah, authentic videos do well, things that feel natural and real and in the moment. And a lot of times, especially now, like less polished. um yeah, that goes the extra mile for sure.
Yeah, this is how I started my membership. I was never ready. I said, "Oh no, my site is not ready. I shouldn't." So I created a wait list. So wait list went on for 1 month. Then again, I thought still I'm not ready. So I extended for 1 more month. And when after the end of the second month, I thought I was not ready again. Then I said, if I just keep on extending the wait list, the people who are on my wait list, they will drop off
Yeah.
because they say, oh, this girl is not sure about what she's doing. There is no point in waiting for her launch. So then I just launched, and I was very authentic. I just said, site is not perfect. I will work on it every day, but I'm pretty sure at present the resources are there and the help we are providing is more than enough for you to move the needle into your business. And nobody judged me. I think I was the only one who was judging myself. Nobody judged
Yeah.
me, and they accepted me with open arms. And I have really means some loyal following on my membership, and people really love it. So it's the same principle. And but you clearly broke the mold. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Okay, in India, um, previous generation, not our generation, maybe 1 or 2 generations before I was born, there used to be a lot of children used to die in their really young age. And when parents they kept on losing their kids at a really young age, what they would do, they would name their kid like a really bad name, like Rock or something you would Rock is not bad name over here because we have a celebrity named Rock, but anyway, something like really bad name. And generally that kid would survive, so they would break the mold. So is that the reason you named your company Bad Cards, to break the mold? I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because you surely broke the mold. So
yeah, yeah, it's funny. I mean, a lot of thought went into naming the company. I knew because it was a new product, because there was instantly a discovery educational component. Like people wouldn't see it and know what it was right away. So we had that challenge immediately to overcome, of like, hey, there's this new thing. It involves golf, and you have to like listen a little bit and understand what this thing is because it's new. Whereas if we were selling a golf polo, it's like, cool, this is a shirt. Cool, I know what a shirt is. This is a hat. I know what a hat is. I know what a golf ball is. I know, things like that. So because of that, I thought, well, let's pick a name that says what the product is. Like, so we were like, we want cards to be in the name. We want to make that customer journey, because it was already a lot, right? Getting them to like learn about a new product. So we didn't want to have to be like, okay, you're such and such golf co, and you make these, and these are this. So we wanted to tie the product as closely as we could. So we were like, cool, we're going to call them cards. And we wanted golfers to be in the name. Cards and golf, we wanted to be in the name of the product, because that explains at least a chunk of what it is. So then the debate was, do we call it bad cards for good golfers, or do we call it good cards for bad golfers? And we went back and forth on that, because our game is actually a 50-50 split of bad and good cards. So some are helpful and half of them are not so helpful. So the name could go either way. And so two things went in the decision. One was like, oh, we can play on ego a little bit. We can just be like, oh, I'm a good golfer. Like, I'm going to get these cards because I'm a good golfer. I don't want to maybe buy something that says I'm a bad golfer. The other thing is, just from a marketing standpoint, from an SEO standpoint, if we think about organic search results on Google, if you were to search, if our company name was good cards for bad golfers, let's say that, you're going to be searching good, and golf are going to be kind of the main thing. So now instantly we're competing with anything that has to do with being good at golf or improving your game. So we're now, we're competing with organic search results for every swing training video, swing aid, good clothes, good golf products. So by going on the slant on the other side of just calling ourselves bad, so anytime you search for bad plus golf, we pretty much show up. There is a popular golf apparel brand called Bad Birdie. But that's about it. It's just them and us. So if you search anything to do with bad or cards or bad in
Oh
golf,
man, this is
we
a
show
really
up.
smart way. Wow.
I mean, we saved ourselves
Yeah.
probably tens of thousands of dollars on like the organic, on bidding our own name, because we're not getting washed down by those other things. So that was pretty strategic with it as well. And I'm glad we did it that way. That'd be a bummer to find out later. It's like, oh, we should have flipped the name. That would have made this a lot easier to find us on the internet. So
No, this is really smart way because I have a digital business and I help people sell their digital products, and I was doing keyword search, and these keywords whatever I was actually looking at, they are really high volume but high competition, to very very high
mm,
competition. And so if you are not listed on the first page of Google, yeah, means basically hardly you have any chance of getting organic reach.
yeah,
But the keywords which I was looking at, forget first page, even on second page there was a sponsored content. So I said the best possible position I can get will be on the third page. So I changed my keywords. I said there is no way I'm going to promote those. And I really like the bad cards because that is how you play the game. Because I play card game, though I don't golf. I play card games, and always you cannot creep about your cards, because whatever hand you got,
yep,
and you have to win in spite of that.
yeah,
And life is also like that,
very
means
much.
you cannot creep about it. Whatever life you got, you have to find the best from it. And so I really love that name, because that is really inspiring people, that how they can succeed and go ahead into their life. I really love it.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about your viral marketing secrets, because everybody wants to go viral. And you know I had some reels went viral, but those reels were absolutely not at all related to my business
Mm,
or niche. So even though I went viral, it was of no use for my business.
yeah,
So I want to know more about the viral secrets from you.
yeah. So our most viral moment was October of 2023. We released a video of us reading negative comments for our product, and there's no shortage of it. I mean, within our space, there was a big concern for obviously golf is changing. It's less stuffy country clubs and more people that look like me out there playing, and we're a part. I mean, we're not leading that movement by any means, but we're definitely a part of it. And there's a lot of online arguments over oh, shrink the game, all of this. I mean, we knew all of those comments were coming. And so what we did is we created a video where we were reading our interns' replies. It was sort of like a blind read of the replies that he did to some of the negative comments. And our joke was like, should we, do we fire him? Do we give him a raise? Let us know. So in that way alone, we gave the comment section fuel. We gave them something to cheer for. In addition to it being a genuinely funny video, so it started with a hook. It was us kind of having the biggest laugh. The biggest laugh from the video we put on the hook, and then go right into the video. And it's a pretty long video. I think it's about a minute by the time we edit it 3 or 4 times, just to try to get it just right. And ends on a big laugh and a very natural like call to action. So there was a high share value, there was a high comment value, and we had, I think when all was said and done, we were somewhere around 14 million views on that video
Oh
on
my
on
goodness.
the reel. The TikTok, how these work. It got throttled a few times. We posted a few times, and I think it petered out at maybe 250,000. But yeah, 14 was by far our biggest video, and we had same problem as you, right? So it wasn't really, we weren't just talking to our niche. We weren't talking to golf. It was beyond golf. It was about customer service and about this whole like Karen vibe and, oh, if only we could actually say what we mean, that sort of thing. So it was like sort of a champion thing. So it went way beyond our normal audience. And we do have the benefit wherein even if you don't golf, we make a very good golf gift. So we were able to leverage that a good bit. We saw a nice sales increase from that. Um, but yeah, I mean, we had, I think, we had several celebrities that had commented on it. And I think one of the Kardashians was one of that comment on it. So it was really fun. And we saw a nice sales lift. But to your point, when trying to recreate viral videos, a lot of times you maybe dip out of your niche a little bit and something's going to go viral. And then the question for me is like, okay, it's not a very targeted audience, but we reached a lot of people. And so that's cool. How do I make sure I reach back? Like, how do I retarget the right people? So a practice I got into doing was if we had a piece of content that went viral that had nothing to do with our company. Another example, I had this idea for this stupid video on Southwest where I pretended like I was holding a crying baby, but it was just a YouTube clip of a baby crying. And I had my jacket over and I was like that. And that got, that was a couple million views. Again, it's not strictly golf. I was wearing, one of our hats, and I posted from our account, but outside of that. So then what we did is we went into our meta ads and we created an audience from people who watched that. So what we said was like, people who watch this video who don't follow us and played it at least 75% of the way through, we're going to serve them this ad. And the ad creative that I served them was one of those real hacky, like green screen, where you just have a body in the corner talking about the video going on, right? Very organic feeling. So they would see about a second and a half of the original video that they knew that they liked and laughed at. So they would second and a half, and then I would pop in, the audio would turn down. I'd be like, remember this? Or it's like, remember us? A lot of you were asking what we sell. We sell fun on-course card games for golf. Buy them for the golfer in your life. 15-second, 12-second ad that ties them back to the viral moment, but then gives them the pitch on top of that. So it was kind of essentially a retarget ad, but it was a very specific target. And if you have a video that hits, I would say if it hits 100,000 to 200,000, I think then it's worth creating an audience out of that to at least send ads within the next, I would say, week or two. And it's, they're not going to run forever and you're targeting them. So you get a couple impressions on them with the follow-up and then call it a day. And those convert a lot higher than standard retargeting ads when you're dripping somebody through your system. So yeah, I've been there where you're just like, all right, do I have something really popular within my niche, or do I try to go something that's a little broader and get more eyeballs and then maybe collect some people? But yeah, then the question is always, how do we capitalize on that? If I'm going to post a video that has nothing to do with golf or our product, and it's just funny and might get some eyeballs, then how do I capitalize on that? And so we kind of treat it as a little two-step approach, I think.
That is really great. Great advice. So now I want to ask you, you were a touring musician and now you are a golf entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to know your lessons in branding and bold moves because it is a really bold move and now you had to change your full branding and also I want to know the lessons you learned here.
Yeah, I think being in music, I was in music since, was in a band in high school and then played all through college. And then when I graduated college, the band I was in and had been working on, we signed a record deal. And then, from then, like, yeah, around 2007, we started touring full time. And then that went, full-time touring went to about 2012 and then part-time touring until 2020. So, and a couple bands over that time. And I'd done some other ventures during that time. And, yeah, each band, each project is it's its own little mini business, and you have to wear all the hats because you can't afford to have anyone else do it for you. So your branding, your marketing, your video, your creative, your accounting, your everything. And so I think for me that was just a great crash course and in everything to do with business. And then when you start a new business, it's like, all right, I'm going to learn some more here, or this different niche. But yeah, it was a great way to start. And obviously it's a fun creative outlet. And I was always the one that was basically running the bands I was in. I was the one that was doing all of the work and wearing all of the hats. I definitely enjoyed that. Being an entrepreneur, I enjoyed that part of it. But yeah, it's a great crash course in branding and marketing and everything. And I played music when I started my first band, that was kind of pre-social media. I mean, before MySpace and stuff like that. And so growing up with that technology coming in and just being like, here's a new tool for us to, I've always been in the habit of learning the new thing that comes out and leveraging it. So whether it's been for music or for marketing or for, bag cards or anything in between, anytime there's something new coming out, I get excited. Like, here's a new tool, AI comes out, like, all right, let's start playing around. What are the capabilities? And like, how can I use this to make the things that are important to my life or my clients' lives or whatever, how can we plug it in there? And um, yeah, so, and then constantly learning.
Great. That is a great, yeah, great to know. So it looks like you do so many things. You can help so many people. But who is your ideal customer? To whom do you love to help? Means you really feel there is a synergy and there is a win-win situation. So who is your ideal customer?
Yeah, our it's funny because with lot of brands, your target demo is pretty narrow. Ours is like pretty darn wide. Um, our customer looks like anybody from 22 to 62, any degree of golfer handicap, whether they're a good golfer or a bad golfer or anything in between, the guys that go all the time, the weekend warriors, it kind of reaches everybody. And then additionally, anybody who knows a golfer as or has to shop for a golfer is also our customer base because they buy it as a gift. But I think for me, just on the sort of the creative side and the fulfilling side of this is when I see people use them and it makes their round fun and they're laughing and they're having a great experience. So I think for me, a lot of times the ideal customer is the person who maybe plays golf 1 to 4 times a year. And so when they go, it's an experience. They're going with their buddies. Oh, we're going to Vegas and we're going to golf while we're there. Guys who are not trying to track their handicaps or work on their game in any way because they golf 4 times a year. Just go have fun. Kind of like bowling. Like, sure, you want to make some strikes, but you're not there to break 300 or break your personal record. Like, you're just, you're throwing a ball. Like, you're not taking it all that serious. And that's how a lot of the golfers approach the game. And so I think for those guys, just they're already going to have a good time. This is their one of 4 times they're golfing that year, and just making it a really memorable moment. And when we get tagged on social media all the time, and people playing our game and laughing, and just I think hearing that just sort of like joy in that experience for me is like anybody who can get that out of what we're doing, like you're the one.
Yeah, great to know. So if someone wants to know more about your offerings, your services, where can they find you?
Yeah, so our website is badcards4goodgolfers.com, and Fore is spelled Fore. But again, if you search anything that sounds like our name in Google, you'll find us pretty easily. And then, of course, on social media, all of our handles are at badcards4golfers as well, Fore Good Golfers as well. We do a lot of fun stuff on there. We're doing some really fun, neat, creative things I'm excited about this year. So definitely follow us on there as well. Yeah, if you're shopping for a golfer or you are a golfer, yeah, check out our games. We have the game that I've primarily been talking about. It's been our main game, which is 107 cards, and it's sort of half good, half bad. You're not going to want to you won't keep your score for this round. Like it's just for having a good time. But we also have a golf gambling game, which plays on the side and doesn't affect your round, just your wallet. So we kind of have a little something for everybody in there, as well as apparel and ball markers and accessories and stuff like that. So a lot of fun stuff on our shop.
Thank you. That's really, yeah, amazing. I will surely check it out. Hey, I may get interested into
I love
golfing now
it.
because, yeah, yeah, the only golfing I did is only on the mini golf.
Yep.
And I had gone to the main golf courses also with my husband, but I just managed to sit in the car and all. But hey,
Nothing
now
wrong with
I
that.
will
It's beautiful out.
participate, sure, because now I have hope. I have hope, surely, no doubt about it. So I asked whatever I wanted to ask, but if I didn't cover anything and if you want to share, yeah, please feel free to do so right now. Yeah.
Um, no, I mean, I think you hit a lot of nails on the head there. I would say on top of all of this that I try to be an open book and offer advice and whatever experience that I've had. Um, So if there's anybody listening that, it's like, oh, I would like to learn more about this or hear more about this, I mean, obviously just reach out through any of our channels, email or social media or anything, and we can connect there. But yeah, it's something I learned I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. I learned that if you find people who are successful in what you want to do or have had success in some way, and you just ask them for not even for advice, but just saying like, let me buy you a beer, let me buy you a coffee, and let me pick your brain. Like, would
Yep.
you let me do that? And the overwhelming, like the energy behind people who have been successful and want to like share. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like my question to these people is always like, if I'm doing this thing, like, or if I'm in your similar shoes, like, what would you have wanted to know when you were in my position? And so, in any time you can kind of skip, you can skip past any sort of potholes that you would have tripped in anyways. Like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, is super valuable. So, I mean, like you said, just start. And that was something when I was working on a music touring like a booking kind of platform that was like a new thing, and we got to talk to a couple guys who had been in that space. And yeah, the one guy said to me was like, don't spend a bunch of time making your site look pretty, just make it work. And his example is, this is just like what you were saying, but his example was Craigslist. People still use Craigslist and it looks terrible. If the function's there, don't worry about the design. Don't worry about the aesthetics. As a creator, when you have it dreamed up, it's something you care a ton about. But yeah, it's just put the thing out and see if it works. And if it does, then, and then launch in. So
Oh, this is so much refreshing and reassuring, because what happened when I started my membership, I had lots of resources. So I could have made it really, really pretty. But uh, that for pretty means basically if you have limited resources, yeah, you can create all the designs and you can make it pretty. And then if you have just 10, 20 resources, you can make that page look good.
mhm.
But if you want to share thousands of resources, I wanted a database. And the experience was not that great. And someone told me, if you make the user experience really beautiful, your memberships will really skyrocket. And I hired membership experts, and she told me whoever is joining your membership, only thing they want to know whether you can help them or not.
Yeah.
They don't care, because they are coming over there to finding solution for their
Hmm.
problem. So if you provide them solution, they will be there with you. And so, and now you are telling exactly the same thing. I totally agree with you, because it is hard to place thousands of resources on one page, and then people won't be able to search. I had to create a database so that they can search and they can find the
Yeah.
resources whatever they are looking for. I learned so much from today's episode. Yeah, just start. Mean, don't look for the perfection. And my mentor says the moment you become perfect, God will call you. So, as far
I
as you
like
are a
that.
living human being, if you are better today than yesterday, you are having a great journey.
Yep.
So, same thing I learned from you. So, just start
Just
and
start.
make it work. As far as you are authentic, as far as you are genuine, everything will be okay. Associate with people, that is also so important,
Hmm.
you mentioned. And yeah, during COVID time we learn, if we associate with people who already have COVID, you will catch COVID. But hey, if you associate with people where you want to go, yeah, means then there are more chances of you being successful. There's so many nuggets. So people, I just want to tell you, you go through this episode again and again and just jot down all the points he learned, because he didn't even hold back sharing his viral secrets,
Oh no.
and
Yeah,
those are
go
really
for it.
amazing. Means if you go to any agency, marketing agency, they will charge you arm and leg to go viral. But here, he just openly shared all these secrets. So
Yeah,
I'm so grateful and thankful you being guest on our podcast
for
and
sure.
blessing our family. Yeah, keep up the great
We'll do
work,
you as
and
well.
sure, I'm just looking forward to finding more about bad cards for good golfers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join and explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.